Hello everyone, in this video I will explain you about the solution and the solubility of a substance. Water as a solvent. Water can dissolve many substances like salt and sugar. Thus, it is termed as universal solvent. The substances which dissolve in water are said to be soluble in water. For example, salt and sugar. These two are the examples of soluble substances. The substances which do not dissolve in water are said to be insoluble in water. For example, sand, chalk powder. So these are the insoluble substances. When we dissolve a substance in water, a solution is formed. The substance that dissolves is called solute, and the substance in which solute is dissolved is called the solvent. That means when a substance dissolves in a liquid, it breaks into smaller particles and get accommodated between the interparticle spaces of the liquid. So what are the interparticle spaces? The spaces between the particles or the molecules of a substance is called interparticle or intermolecular space. So this intermolecular space is maximum in gases and minimum in solid. So what happens when a substance dissolves in a liquid? Say for example, I have taken a beaker here and it is half filled with water molecule, because we know the intermolecular spaces in case of the liquid, it is more than the solid, because in solid the intermolecular space is very less. It is half filled with water. So these are the water molecules. And what happens when a substance dissolves in a liquid, that means a solid, it dissolves in a liquid, it breaks into smaller particles and get accommodated in between the interparticular, that is intermolecular spaces of the liquid. So these spaces are occupied by the smaller molecules of the solute. It may be the liquid, it may be the solid, mostly the solid particles, the smaller particles of the solid solute. Clear? And we get a solution. So when a substance completely gets accommodated between the intermolecular spaces of the liquid, we get a solution. So we can say the solute dissolved in solvent to form the solution. So how can we write? Solute plus solvent is equal to solution. Say for example, the solute is the sugar. Clear? So sugar, here it is the solid particles, that is the solute is sugar, and water, it is the solvent. So as a whole we will get a solution. Clear? So we can say that a solution is formed when we dissolve a substance in water. A solution is formed when we dissolve a substance, that means a solute, in water, that is the solvent. Is clear now? Now you see, a solution in which no more substance can be dissolved at a given temperature is called a saturated solution. That means in the solution no more solute can be dissolved, then it is called a saturated solution. So for example, if we want to that means dissolve common salt in a solution to make the saturated solution of the salt. So what we have to do, we have to take a beaker. It is a beaker and then it is filled with water. So this is water, and here we have to add a teaspoonful of salt, only 1 teaspoonful of salt, and we have to stir it with a spoon. Very nicely we have to stir it. So after some time we will see that the salt is completely gets dissolved in water. Clear? Now what we have to do, we have to add more and more salt in water with constant stirring to dissolve it. We have to add more and more salt. So first we have to add here 1 teaspoon of salt, and after some time we will see the salt gets completely dissolved in water. After that we have to add more and more salt in water with constant stirring to dissolve it. So after adding a number of spoonful of salt, we observe that the some salt is left, it is left undissolved at the bottom of the beaker. That means here we will see that some salt is left undissolved at the bottom of the beaker. This means no more salt can, it means no more salt can be dissolved, in the given amount of water. That means in a particular amount of water, only a particular amount of solute can get dissolved. Only a particular amount of solute can dissolve in a particular amount of solvent in a particular temperature, in a given temperature, then it is called the saturated solution. So this is called when a layer of solute is left at the bottom of the beaker, then it is called the saturated solution. So in this activity we have obtained a saturated solution of salt in water. Now it is clear. Now you see the solubility of a solid, that means a solid which is the solute, generally increases with rise in temperature. Clear? So how can we explain this one? We can explain this one with the help of an activity. So for that again we have to take some water in a beaker, and here we have to take some water and we have to add here sugar. We have to add sugar in water. Clear? Now sugar dissolves in water on stirring with a spoon. After that, what we have to do? We have to add more sugar. Clear? And until no more sugar dissolves. That means we have to constantly, we have to do what? We have to keep on adding more sugar with constant stirring to dissolve it. So after some time, what we will observe? We will observe that some sugar is left at the bottom of the beaker. It is left undissolved. That means some sugar is left undissolved at the bottom of the beaker. Clear? Now this is called the saturated sugar solution. Clear? Now how can we increase the solubility of this saturated solution? With rise in temperature. Clear? Now what we have to do here, see, this is the saturated solution where we get a layer of sugar is left undissolved at the bottom of the beaker. So this is the saturated sugar solution. Now if we increase the temperature by heating this saturated solution, if we increase the temperature by heating this saturated solution, what we will see? What we will observe? We will observe that on heating the saturated sugar solution, so on heating the saturated sugar solution, the undissolved sugar at the bottom of the beaker gets dissolved. That means this is the undissolved sugar at the bottom of the beaker which gets dissolved. Clear? So this shows that at higher temperature more sugar gets dissolved. Now when we cool the hot solution, this hot solution we have to cool. Clear? That means we have to decrease the temperature. We have to decrease the temperature. What we will see? We will see the sugar settles at the bottom of the beaker again. On cooling, again we will get that we will get a layer of sugar. On cooling, a layer of sugar we can see which settles at the bottom of the beaker. This shows that at lower temperature less sugar dissolve in water, and when we increase the temperature, that is at higher temperature more sugar gets dissolved. Now solubility of a substance can be increased by adding more water, that is the solvent. Now this is the saturated solution. That means we can see that there is a layer of, maybe it is sugar or salt, which is left undissolved at the bottom of the beaker. So if we add here more and more water, that is the solvent, and stir it, then we will see the extra, that is the extra sugar, that is the particles of sugar, extra particles of sugar, they will get the intermolecular spaces to get accommodated. That means more water means when we add more water, we will see the more intermolecular space. So that spaces will be accommodated by the particles of the sugar. So this is one way we can. And another one is that if we, so this is the saturated solution of maybe the salt or sugar. So if we stir it quickly, very rapidly, if we stir it very fast, then we can increase its solubility. Clear? Now solubility of gases in water decreases with rise in temperature, and it increases with decrease in temperature. So we all know gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide get dissolved in water, but to small extent. Clear? Their solubility gets affected by changes in temperature and pressure. Now you see, solubility of gases in water decreases with rise in temperature, and it increases with increase in temperature. For this reason, what happens, you all know that aquatic animals use oxygen which gets that means they use the oxygen which gets dissolved in water. Now if the solubility of gases in water decreases with rise in temperature and it increases with decrease in temperature, then what happens? Because during the summers the ponds get heated and the amount of dissolved oxygen gets decreased. So what happened to the aquatic animals? Because they depends on the dissolved oxygen. That means the oxygen which gets dissolved in water. They depends on them for their respiration. If during summers the ponds get heated due to the, that means it the ponds gets heated due to temperature, that means rise in temperature, and the amount of dissolved oxygen get decreased that time, because we know the solubility of gases decrease with rise in temperature. So during summers the temperature is high and the amount of dissolved oxygen gets decreased, and this lead to the dying of the aquatic animals in the shallow ponds. Clear? So that is why that means we can say that the solubility of gases in water, it is, that means it gets affected by changes in temperature and pressure. So hope you all have understood it clearly.